Isagi Yoichi still needs one last piece in order to score the game's winning goal.
And we believe his last piece is the newly introduced skill, the Predator Eye.
The reason we say this is because Kaneshiro has been foreshadowing hints towards Isagi's eyes in his evolution prior and throughout the entire Bastard Munchen and Uber's match.
We bring this up because Predator Eye is a vision-based skill. It's designed to locate and optimize the best shooting courses to help boost goal-scoring opportunities. This newly introduced striker-based skill seems like the perfect fit to be Isagi's final piece to score the winning goal.
And the reason why we bring up Predator Eye, Isagi's eyes, and his evolution is because Kaneshiro has been dropping many hints and references involving Isagi's eyes in his previous chapters. In chapter 221, Isagi looks like he's talking about how he's infiltrated Kaiser's mind. And this moment is very important because it shows Isagi containing a puzzle piece over his right eye in this moment. And we all know what puzzle pieces mean when they're associated with Isagi. So right there, I felt Kaneshiro was making it deliberate and trying to tell us that there's something associated with Isagi's eye in his evolution in this matchup.
Moreover, since this panel was associated with the battle between Kaiser and Isagi, it makes us believe it will come full circle between these two. Especially since Kaiser recently sabotaged Isagi in chapter 234, Kaiser attempted to steal Isagi's opportunity to shoot in front of the goal. Instead of winning the ball, the two just smashed the ball at the same time, and ultimately squandering a perfect chance in front of Uber's goal.
Isagi realizes even with Yuri's help, he's still one piece short from scoring the winning goal and beating Kaiser. It's clear that if Kaiser continues to be a nuisance for Isagi, then he's going to need another weapon to get the edge over Kaiser. And what other weapon would be best for this situation than Predator Eye? If you guys are still here, you're probably wondering, but how is Isagi going to acquire Predator Eye? Well, the answer is actually quite clear. It's going to happen because of Michael Kaiser. Let's not forget, while Kaiser was shooting his bicycle kick, his insane screamer against Manshine, and in the recent sabotaging against Isagi, all those times, Kaiser was drawn with having Predator Eye.
And while not completely confirmed in writing, we have seen multiple panels of Michael Kaiser having Predator Eye. We bring this up because it is important to remember that Isagi has been adapting and devouring Kaiser throughout the entire NEL arc.
Since the beginning of the Neo Eagles League, Isagi stated that Kaiser possessed his ideal playing style. When Isagi first watched Bastard Munchen play against Barcha, he got drawn to Kaiser's playstyle. He internally saw himself in Kaiser's movements, and he saw that Kaiser's playstyle is an ideal playstyle that he wants to reach. And from here, we see that Isagi is using Kaiser as a reachable goal to help him push closer to becoming a world-class player.
And in Bastard Munchen's second match against Manshine City, Isagi went further and started to observe Kaiser even more. During this match, Isagi watched how Kaiser played along Bastard Munchen and analyzed how he created a game plan to utilize his goal-scoring formula. The main thing Isagi picked up from here was how Kaiser was using his vision to set up a play that resulted in him scoring a goal.
And this is very important because after analyzing Kaiser's goal in the Manshine City match, this is where Isagi realized how he could beat Kaiser. This was one of his first steps in adapting and devouring Kaiser. Isagi was able to grasp metavision, but it's important to realize that Isagi was only able to do this by analyzing Kaiser. And thanks to this, by the end of the Manshine City match, Isagi showcased his skills as a masterful playmaker due to his awakening of metavision and ecocentrism. Utilizing these two concepts, he was able to dominate the match and further show his value to the world.
We say all this to say, we believe Isagi will acquire Predator Eye through a similar process to Isagi analyzing Kaiser to gain metavision. Isagi examining Kaiser was the whole reason he was able to pick up on metavision. So this isn't totally out of the realm of possibility. All signs point to this realization, especially after you pair up this theory with the speculations around Isagi's right eye being linked to an upgrade.
Yes, and it's important to remember too that Isagi's always been deemed as a genius of adaptability. He's been known to always be able to adapt to his opponents and acquire their skills. A lot of people in Blue Lock know this about Isagi. He's able to devour and conquer his rivals, and he's been doing this in NEL. He's been mainly studying Kaiser in this arc, and adding to this with the hints to his right eye, it has to be Predator Eye, especially since Isagi has to score the game's winning goal. Plus, if Isagi does want to achieve a similar playstyle as Kaiser, then he has to acquire both Metavision and Predator Eye, just like Kaiser. And ultimately, this does connect back to Isagi's plan to use Kaiser as a template.
And for all the people who say that it is too early or it's plot armor, no, just shut up. There's been consistent build up to Isagi's development through the Neo Eagles League. I mean, he even started off as a sub and messed up in the beginning. Since then, it has been similar if not slower development compared to the other arcs. After 2 whole matches, he just scored his first goal in the Neo Eagles League. This only happened after obtaining new concepts like metavision and egocentrism, and acquiring teammates that would follow his lead. But either way, it still makes sense because it's Isagi we're talking about. We have seen him in multiple situations like this, and of course being able to overcome adversity time and time again.
I completely agree. He's done this many times in his career, and Kaiser even acknowledged this before the Ubers match. Isagi is a type of player who thrives in the face of adversity, and he's not afraid to change himself. He's constantly changing himself as a person and as a player. He loves the idea of overcoming these challenges. That's why he's able to challenge the strongest player in Rin, the second selection, while everyone else was cowering away from Rin in the top 3. And Michael Kaiser could be seen as a similar force as Satoshi Rin back in the second selection phase. They're both a powerful antagonist that forced Isagi to evolve and change and better himself as a player. I feel like this ultimately just ties into Isagi's whole story in Blue Lock, and the fact that he has to face Kaiser as a striker in this match just speaks even more volumes on the theory of him acquiring Predator Eye and pushing himself as a world-class player.
Yeah, I'd argue that it's hard to refute that. We know Isagi is using Kaiser as a template on how he can improve himself. The hints with his right eye as well, and the fact that we have received a full detailed explanation of Predator Eye, it all just comes together and makes sense. And it all makes me believe that Isagi would develop Predator Eye similar to how he obtained Metavision by analyzing Kaiser again.
And the fact that Isagi is the type of player that also excels by using his brain and eyes, it just fits into his character. It doesn't seem impossible to me at all.
It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Like, we've seen Isagi has already broken down the concept of Predator Eye and understands how it works. He's also seen 2 strikers in Baro and Kaiser who have showcased his ability. If he's able to comprehend the utilization through Kaiser, in theory, Isagi can apply the concept to himself, literally just like Metavision.
Plus, Isagi with Predator Eye would just make him even more of a complete striker, and the fact that he's trying to fully adapt that into his playstyle is very important, because he had the speech telling them he wants the world to acknowledge him as a striker, and he wants to prove that in goals. And now that Hiri, his key, is now on the pitch, it feels like he's really pushed to achieve this. I think Hiri being his key in the shadow ultimately pushes this idea of Isagi being a king-like player, because we already seen that Hiri accepts the idea of being Isagi's key, and he wants to accomplish this and help Isagi achieve a king-like status. So with Hiri's involvement in the game, I feel like this just catapults our theory even more, because Isagi is now going to be focused on being a king-like player, kind of like Kaiser and Baro in a sense. And both of those players have Predator Eye, both those players are top strikers, so that kind of hints that Isagi kind of has to acquire Predator Eye skill to achieve that status.
Moreover on that, in Chapter 235, Isagi is using both of his eyes for different purposes. The left is focusing on analyzing the field, and his right is focusing more on goal scoring. In this chapter, we also see Isagi having a realization after analyzing Hiyori's unexpected shot at a goal.
But Hiri's failed attempt wasn't completely in vain, because Hiri's shot sparked something in Isagi. Hiri is living up to his role as Isagi's shadow. He's able to breathe in new ideas into the field. Even with that failed attempt, Isagi is able to push himself to a higher level, and we see at the end of chapter 235 that Isagi enters flow. Hiri guides Isagi to a new theory on how to lead the team to victory. So I really believe that Isagi is going to achieve Predator Eye very soon, because this has to end soon, and I only see it ending with Isagi scoring the goal.
Hiri acting as Isagi's shadow and playmaker, he will make that final pass towards Isagi. But I have a hunch that, similar to the Manshine match in an earlier situation in chapter 234, Kaiser will try to block Isagi once again. But this Isagi, while utilizing Metavision Predator Eye, will still be able to score a goal that nobody in the field expected him to do. I believe that this goal will be similar to the back heel he scored against Rin in the second selection phase. A move so good it has to be able to beat geniuses. Either way, it will be a goal so good that it shocks everyone and makes Kaiser the naked emperor.
At the end of the day, there's not much evidence that shows Isagi's going to score a goal like this, but just the fact this match focuses so much on the competition between Isagi and Kaiser, as well as Hiri's development of wanting to play with Isagi turning into King, the addition of Predator Eye, I truly believe Isagi has to beat Kaiser. I feel like this is all building up so Kaiser loses to Isagi and becomes a naked emperor. Ultimately, this just makes Isagi the king of the Bastard Munchen team and setting up the king vs king matchup between Rin and Isagi in the PXG match.
Either way, Isagi obtaining Predator Eye will get him closer to becoming a world-class player. Isagi has already solved one of his problems of getting thrown off balance by learning the lefty shot. Being able to use both feet like Noah, mixing Metavision and Predator Eye, a high IQ that Snuffy acknowledges and willingness to change and improve, Isagi is shaping up to be one of the best players in football. I believe Isagi has all the potential and talent to become a world-class player.
I completely agree. Even in his current state, he was already able to impress master strikers like Noah, Chris Prince, and Snuffy. If all these factors lay out, I think all the signs are going to point to Isagi becoming the game's hero and leading Bastard Munchen to victory against Ubers, ultimately making Isagi the king of the Bastard Munchen team.
Also, these course events would further set up even more grand events later on in the Blue Lock series. And all this is extremely possible to us because the proof is in the pudding. There have been many hints and foreshadowing moments throughout the Neo Egoist League arc.
Yeah, I know we're all waiting for Isagi's next evolution. We got a big hint about it at the end of chapter 235. I know we all can't wait to see what Kaneshiro has in store for Isagi, but using all these hints and references from the manga, we really believe that this is what's going to happen. Obviously, we might not be 100% right, but what do you guys think? We would love to know your thoughts about this. Please let us know in the comment section. Thank you for sticking to the end as well. This is Tev.
This is Lotus.
Peace.
Catch you in the next one.